Welcome back to the We Are City channel, kicking off today's episode with Man City playing new contract talks for multiple stars. Multiple stars in our squad we are looking at negotiating new deals with, and there's quite a few players to talk about in that sense. Kevin De Bruyne, of course, the key man on the image here, but we've got Rodri and Phil Foden we'd like to sign down to new deals. We've got Kyle Walker, who's contracted up at the end of the season. Scott Carson, I suppose, to think about as well. And Kevin De Bruyne is the main one, alongside goalkeeper Ederson, who stayed after rejecting advances from Saudi, or well, City rejecting advances from Saudi, who would not meet Manchester City's asking price. And they are all players we are looking at getting down, tying down to new deals and discussing their future. And that is something that is important for the future of Manchester City, the football club. This is the Bournemouth side. In goal starts Neto. It is Aarons, Hussein, Mepham and also Ian Manoith in the back four. Captain Lewis Cook partners Tyler Adams in the midfield too, with Romain Favre on the right, Sinister on the left, and Philip Billing in behind. Former Manchester City player Enes Unal up top. Radu, Hughes, Tavernier, Alex Scott, Zaverny, Kirakes and Semenyo on the bench, with Travers unavailable, the third choice goalkeeper. They've lost the last two games. They sit in 13th place, and their key player is Sinister off that left hand side. This is the Manchester City side. Ederson starts in goal. It's Lewis, Akanji, Diaz and Vardy on the back four. Rodri, Phil Foden and Julian Alvarez in a midfield three, with Jack Grealish to the left, Bernardo Silva off the right and Erling Haaland through the middle. Savio, De Bruyne, Kovacic, Mateus Nunes, Walker and Ake make up the bench, with Stefan Ortega the backup goalkeeper. A change side again by Pep Guardiola, who continues to try and find a way to get this Manchester City side playing the football he's wanted. Well, Manchester City versus Bournemouth here today. City yet to show anything that makes anyone think they'll have any chance of getting back in this title race. Well played, Grealish. Nicely done, Grealish. Grealish, that far post here, it's whipped across the box. No one could make the gamble. It's behind for a throw-in. Vardy dives in. And now he's a counter for Bournemouth here. Favre. Diaz stays with him. They pull it to the edge of the box. Manu Akanji dives in. He's lost it. It's Enes Unal. And a good save from Ederson. First big chance. Falls Bournemouth's way. Corner ball. Manchester City in big trouble this season. We need to work things out. Sinister hits one. Another big save from Ederson. Behind for another corner. Bernardo in behind to Foden again, away by Bournemouth. Rico Lewis down to Haaland. Foden. Bernardo. Good lift into Haaland here, and a good save by Neto behind for a corner. Back onto Grealish. Phil Foden hits one, blocked away. Ruben Diaz loses another header, which he has done all season, and Akanji straight down to Bournemouth. On the turn is Philip Billing. And look at Sinister go. And Manchester City have built their own problems again. And Sinister with a big save from Ederson. And a goal kick, but Ruben Diaz is absolutely diabolical in the air. He's terrible. Rico. Vardy. Options are not there. Rodri. Rodri for Manchester City out to Bernardo Silva. So much space for Bernardo. Bernardo in. Haaland takes it down. Haaland shoots here. 1-0 Manchester City. Erling Haaland scores. City take the lead. Good ball in. A good finish by Haaland. We've rode our luck a little bit, haven't we? With the mistakes in the back. But it's Erling Haaland with a finish. Rodri finds Bernardo in space. He lifts one into Haaland. Great first touch. Bang. Back of the net for Haaland, who's still scoring despite City's poor form. And we take the lead against Bournemouth here. Let's keep it that way, City. Let's keep it that way. Attack inside from Pep Guardiola. Mistake by Vardy. Too aggressive. Diaz across. Diaz can't stop the man. Off the post. I mean, if Bournemouth were to score straight away. Vardy there. Grealish goes back inside. Rodri. Vardy. Grealish. Alvarez. It's good play by City. But just as we start to build something, we find Joško Vardy in an offside position. Foden in there down to Haaland. City pounce again perhaps here. Alvarez. Alvarez! What a finish by Julian Alvarez! 2-0 Manchester City. And that's a fantastic finish by our Argentinian. Well, one away Argentinian, you could say. Wanted out this summer. No offers came in to what our value was as a player. He stayed. He's not played much. But he's got in the side here today. What a finish by Alvarez. Guides that one into the bottom corner. City 2. Bournemouth 0. And Alvarez, I think, with that finish right there, Might have just played himself in the starting 11 now. Half time, City 2, Bournemouth 0. Can we keep our first clean sheet of the season? Can we keep this going? Kanji and Rico Lewis there with them. Sinisterra, past Rico Lewis. Billing with a chance here. Ederson. Oh! He desperately wanted his clean sheet, Ederson. And boy, did he do everything to try and keep it. And Grealish pings one behind to Haaland here against Hewson. The Dutchman under pressure. And pressure from City, and they give it back to Bournemouth here. But Ederson there, doing everything to keep his clean sheet at this moment. Ronaldo goes pressing again. And Haaland. This City side on a mission here today to work as hard as possible. And well done, Bernardo Silva. And here's Haaland. And here's Foden for Manchester City. They're in trouble here. Bournemouth. Foden. Foden for Manchester City slides through to make it 3-0. Is this the start of City's season? Phil Foden scores. Great play. You think he's going to give it to Alvarez. He dives in, Foden just pokes it through past Neto. Does everything he can to make sure Neto doesn't beat him to it. It's brave from Foden to do that. I mean, if he catches the keeper there, he could be sent off. Guardiola celebrates 3-0 Manchester City. That is more like it. That is more like it today. I know we're playing Bournemouth, but come on. Could this be the start of our season? We've said it before. Are we starting to feel this could be the start of something? Rico Lewis. Right to Bernardo. Back into Rico. Late one there. Referee. Late one there. And Rico Lewis is a yellow card for Sinisterra. We're going to make some changes at this point now. Lewis, who's injured, comes off for Kyle Walker. A tired Phil Foden comes out for Mateo Kovacic. I'm going to stick with that for now. I'm going to stick with that for now. Real late one on Rico Lewis. Let's hope that is not a serious injury for the young man. He has a way towards Bernardo Silva. Counter City here. It's Bernardo Silva. He's not the quickest, but here's Bernardo. He's got the captain's armband on today. Bernardo, he runs. Max Aarons chases. Bernardo Silva makes it 4-0 Manchester City on the counter. 4-0. City are back. Are City back? I think Manchester City are back. I think Manchester City are back, perhaps. Great play from Bernardo. Good finish. Back of the net. A few more changes for the side to make here. Alvarez goes up top. Mateus Nunes is going to come on. On to Nunes. Nice feet by Mateus Nunes. Nathan Ake for Manchester City. Ball through to Julian Alvarez here. Alvarez to the far post. Savinho is there. Gets there but a little bit late. Savinho, nice feet. Walker. Back to Savinho. It's Rodri! It's 5-0 Manchester City. 5-0. Everyone's been given a red card according to score, but I have no idea what glitch that is. But it's 5-0. A thumper from Rodri. And talk about getting your mojo back. Savinho to Rodri. And he rockets this one in for 5. Come on. Our season starts here. 5-0 Manchester City against Bournemouth. And we will pride ourselves now on keeping that clean sheet, City. Philip Billing through the middle. Here's Alex Scott. With him is Rodri. Wide to Semenyo. That is the full-time whistle gone. Come on. 5-0 Manchester City. And is there a chance that City are back? A 5-0 win. Are we back? Well, I hope so. I really, really hope so. That is massive for the confidence of the club and for Pep Guardiola's side. De Bruyne a little bit unhappy, didn't come on maybe. But this City side might just be back. Well, our sporting director here has approached us to have a few little notes to tell Pep Guardiola about. Starting with these the updates regarding the squad's contracts. Of course, it was reported we are in negotiations with the squad. First up, Rodri and Phil Foden. Their agents are currently in talks with us over terms of new improved deals. The discussions are progressing well and we're expecting both players to sign extensions soon. Exciting. Rodri and Phil Foden, new deals coming for them. It seems pretty good. Moving on, we've got Ederson. After his potential move to Saudi collapse this summer, we're now negotiating a new deal with his representatives. However, the terms are proving to be tricky, a bit tricky. Well, Ederson, of course, wanted to leave the club. We can't offer what Saudi offered in terms of money, and maybe there's still some Uncertainty over Ederson's future at Manchester City. Now about Kyle Walker, says Cheeky. He's out of contract this summer. We need to sit down with him and discuss his future with the club. At his age, any contract would be his last one. That is a big one, isn't it, to do with Kyle Walker. Does he stay? Does he go? He hasn't played much football for City so far this season. I think maybe Pep Guardiola sees him coming to the end of his own cycle at Manchester City. And lastly, Kevin De Bruyne. He's also out of contract this summer. We need you to have a conversation with him about his future. At the moment, we're uncertain as a club where he stands in terms of his future here. Well, Kevin De Bruyne, the captain of Manchester City this season, one of our biggest players, the icon, the poster boy for Manchester City. It would be a big shame to lose him. Yes, he's getting on. Yes, he's a bit out of form. And yes, he's not played much football for us in recent games, maybe. And maybe he gets dropped in today's episode as he did in the previous game, where he wasn't good enough. But these are all important things to talk about, and lots of planning going into next season needs to be done, because there could be a big overhaul of this Manchester City squad. We'd like Guardiola still to be in charge of it. That is another contract that is yet to be decided, but the contracts of these other players are also very, very important. Well, next is Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League, where City are got to get 3 points, really crucial for 3 points in that Champions League stage. We're going with the side a little bit rotated. Ederson starts and goal. It's Walker, Captain Diaz, Ake and Vardy on the back four. Guimaraes, Kovacic and Bernardo Silva in the midfield three, with Bob on the right, Doku on the left, and Julian Alvarez through the middle on the bench. We've got Haaland, Grealish, De Bruyne, McAtee, Nunes, Stones and Stefan Ortega for a big Champions League clash where 3 points is needed. And again, I want to say, Manchester City are back. So we come in the Champions League. 2 losses so far in Champions League and 1 win. The other win came at home to FC20. And we're looking for this second win, hopefully at home against Dynamo Zagreb. It's the halfway point of the qualifying, pretty much the knockout round competition, where you get through to the knockout rounds. After 8 games, you will decide where you've gone. This is match day 4 for us against Zagreb. And at the moment, we'll have a 50-50 record if we were to pick up 3 points today. So Manchester City versus Zagreb is a big game in the Champions League. A poor side, 3 points needed to get a 50-50 record. And then I expect us to try and win the final 4 games and finish in that top 8 in the Champions League league phase. Big win against Bournemouth. Kovacic, ball into Alvarez here. Alvarez for Manchester City. What a start, 1-0. We were saying we're back after that big win against Bournemouth. I'd like to think we are back. And it's another goal at home for City, and it's Julian Alvarez again. Bob into Kovacic, great over the top round the corner. And Alvarez into that bottom corner for City. 1-0 against Zagreb. Need another big win here today. We need to be perfect again here today. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo in, and Bob waiting. Couldn't find any of them. Counters on for Zagreb, it's 2-on-2. Space on this far side. Diaz watches it. Nathan Ake burst away, Kolenikov. Ake chases. Shot here at the near post. Ederson makes the save as expected, behind for a corner. Ball over to Kovacic, great ball. Here's Mateo Kovacic from Manchester City. Kovacic. Back to Bernardo Silva, who rolls it at the goalkeeper, really. Nathan Ake intercepts it really well. Gives it straight back to Zagreb here, Ake. Diaz slides in and hits on the way through, and Guimaraes clears Bernardo Silva, and City can counter. He get a bit lucky. Bernardo in behind to Oscar Bob for Manchester City. Bob with the touches. Bob still going. Oscar Bob for Manchester City falls to Alvarez for 2-0. Well, I said City are back. They might not quite just be back, but they're doing a reasonable job, aren't we? On the counter, we hit Zagreb. Bob's shot is deflecting to Alvarez's path, and he plants it in an empty net. We're not back as such, but we seem to be back to trying to get results again. Diaz. Bernardo Silva. City opening up. Open up Zagreb again. It's Alvarez for the hat-trick. Alvarez for the hat-trick. Hat-trick Manchester City for Julian Alvarez. 3-0. And this is going to do our goal difference a massive world of good. I mean, 2 losses away from home. But a big goal there for Julian Alvarez to give Manchester City a 3-0 lead. It's a hat-trick for Alvarez. And I think he's playing himself into this City starting 11, isn't he? Alongside Haaland. Good play from Alvarez. Good finish by Alvarez. Hat-trick for Alvarez. 3-0 Manchester City. Doku. Alvarez. Bernardo. Kyle Walker. On to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob for Manchester City. If he hits that with his left foot, he scores. Half-time, City 3, Zagreb 0. What a miss by Oscar Bob at the end of the first half. Walker goes and makes the challenge. Good physicality from Kyle Walker. Brilliant from Kyle Walker there. Bernardo Silva. Oscar Bob, City pounce again. Bob, great skill by Bob. Through to Alvarez. Bernardo Silva. Oh, and good defending of Bernardo Silva, just too slow to react. Diaz stands off them. Free header, and Zagreb do score. 3-1. No clean sheet for Manchester City. And Zagreb do score. Diaz stands off him. The cross comes in by Vardiol there, wrong side of his man. Good header, good finish by the Zagreb man. Only one clean sheet kept this season. We can't keep 2 in a row. From the corner, Bernardo Silva here. Bernardo. It's Alvarez again. It's great defending to stop it from going to 4. Alvarez. Bernardo Silva. Mateus Nunes, who drives with pace. Skips inside Nunes. Brilliant play. Mateus Nunes makes it 4-1. Brilliant play from Manchester City's midfielder. Comes on the left-hand side and does more than Jeremy Doku, who's done all game there. Great play from Mateus Nunes. Off the bench. Doesn't play much football for Manchester City. Well, that's great play. Skips inside. And selfishly, and rightfully so, he goes for goal. He gets himself a goal for the season. Really good play. Manchester City 4, Zagreb 1. Petrovic too strong. Diaz! What a challenge by Ruben Diaz. Fantastic. Petrovic, Ake steps in. Well played, Nathan Ake. McAtee. McAtee into Bernardo. Brilliantly done. Bernardo Silva. Through to Oscar Bob. He's in again here, Oscar Bob. Bob for Manchester City! Oscar Bob scores this time. 5-1 Manchester City. And what did I say? City are back. And we just might be. We just might be. Oscar Bob played in by Bernardo Silva. 5-1. I think City could be back. Been a bit more expansive in recent games in terms of being a bit more swift going forward. Ruben Diaz off for John Stones. But those results in the Manchester derby and Dortmund away, they really did change the side. Pep Guardiola said, I don't recognise my team. Well, now they're a bit more recognisable. Full-time City 5, Zagreb 1. Could this be the start of something special at Manchester City this season? Because it hasn't felt like it so far. Alvarez with a man of the match performance. And also a hat-trick. And City are right back at it. Well, big information coming out here of a talk between Pep Guardiola and Kevin De Bruyne to end today's episode. Pep says, I know you've been expecting this conversation to Kevin De Bruyne. Your contract expires this summer and I know it's a big decision for you. Kevin De Bruyne replies with, yeah, it's been on my mind a lot. I love it here, Pep. The club, the fans, the team. It's home. That is amazing to hear. But with both our contracts up, I just need to understand the direction we're heading in. Well, that is a big, big answer from Kevin De Bruyne, isn't it? Pep Guardiola says, I understand completely. The club and I are in discussions about my future too. Nothing is certain yet, but you know how much I value your presence here. You're a cornerstone of this team and club. Well, Kevin De Bruyne says, that means a lot to him, Pep, but I need to have a think about the long term. Because he's not long left of his career, is he really? Mainly for his career and mainly for his family. De Bruyne is thinking about his family, the future of his family. Of course, very settled in Manchester, but I mean 700, 800, 900 grand a week in Saudi, if not more, would completely change his life for his family for, I mean, every single generation. I lean towards staying or leaving. What a question from Kevin De Bruyne put towards Pep Guardiola, who responds with, it's a tough one, Kevin. I love this club and the project we've built, but I've been here for quite a while now. Sometimes a change is needed for everyone involved. However, nothing is decided yet. Pep Guardiola being purposely vague and not very clear at all on what his future lies. He's not saying whether he's staying or going in and giving no indication to City's club captain. De Bruyne replies with, the uncertainty makes it tough to make a decision. Very good, Kevin. If you stay, I'm more inclined to stay. Your vision and leadership are crucial to me. If you leave, then I'll have to see who comes in and what their plans are. I need to be sure the club's ambition matches mine. I want to keep winning. Well, Kevin De Bruyne, despite the latter stages of his career, does not want to stop winning titles and winning trophies. And Pep Guardiola says, absolutely, and you deserve nothing less. Regardless of what happens with me, the club will always strive for the highest levels of success. They know how important you are. Whatever happens, know that I fully support you. You've been incredible for us, and I expect whatever decision you make. Well, that is a key thing, isn't it, for Kevin De Bruyne? I think De Bruyne, everything he's done for Manchester City, De Bruyne gets to leave on his own terms. If he decides he wants to leave Manchester City, the club should say, Off you go, Kevin. Thank you very much. If De Bruyne says, I want to stay at Manchester City, then I think City should offer De Bruyne contract terms that suit him as well. But of course, you guys maybe need to decide as well, should Kevin De Bruyne stay or should he go? That is a big, big question for this City side. And that is a big one that might be answered maybe before the end of the season. I mean, an even bigger one is Pep Guardiola staying or is he going? So many uncertainties, so many tangibles that could change throughout this career mode, and that is what making it so exciting and so unpredictable. That's going to end today's episode with a big explosive chat between Kevin De Bruyne and Pep Guardiola. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we'll see you guys next time.